Terrenator, el coche más poderoso que ha existido, con tracción 4x4 y 2 turbomotores. Este sí es todoterreno, las calles son fáciles. Mete una lodo, parte la nieve, pasa por el...
So, where can I get my Terrenator? As always, make sure to follow my social media accounts at It's Lielers on Instagram, Threads, and X, and subscribe to my YouTube channel at It's Lielers. And also do not forget to follow me on TikTok at Lielers. Lielers on TikTok. So, did anyone else get affected by this whole Microsoft outage? No, just big business, flights, television, banks. Yeah, I didn't know about it until like when I went to work. Everything was still running smoothly. So, bummer. But I did saw like a lot of videos on TikTok where people were just complaining and wish that their job software also crashed. But no, unfortunately, it happened to other people, which led to so many inconvenience, of course. Lots of people were stranded in airports and all of that. And I'm just like, this is why I just drive. Like, you guys already know. Like, for example, when I went to Albuquerque, I drove. When I went to my hometown, I drove. When I went to Helen, Georgia, I drove. Yeah, I'm not doing all of that. Well, of course, when I went to Mexico City, yeah, I flew. And I was mostly worried about, like, oh, what if a flight gets delayed? You know, all of that. But surprisingly, it didn't happen. I am worried every time I go into an airport, especially when I book a flight, that something like this will happen. So thank God that wasn't the case for me. But yes, it does suck for other people. Apparently, everything is running smoothly for everybody else. I'm not sure. But it didn't stop people from making memes and all of that. But anywho, I am hoping everybody got those issues resolved and, you know, move on with life. So this week, we are talking a bunch of stuff like The Boys. Season 4 has officially wrapped up. And oh my God, I have so many thoughts. Of course, you can tell by how I was talking about it on the video. But not only that, we're also going to be talking about Deadpool and Wolverine since the movie is already coming. I'm so excited. And since SummerSlam is slowly approaching, it's going to be the following Saturday. I need to talk about my predictions of what other matches are yet to be announced. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this episode started. Before we even kick off the whole thing that I do, like movies, television, all of that, we need to talk about a botched national anthem. And I still think this did not top Fergie's botched national anthem. What? So, if you guys do not know, during the Texas All-Star Game, country singer Ingrid Andress, which again, I don't know who the fuck she is because I don't listen to country. She showed up drunk apparently and could not get the high-pitched notes right. You may have either seen or heard it, and yeah, it's pretty gnarly. I really didn't know what was really going on until I saw her post that other people were reposting on their profiles. And she explained that she was drunk and now is looking to check herself into rehab. Now, as I mentioned earlier, why do I think this botch didn't top Fergie's? Because Fergie was sober when she botched the national anthem. I mean, guys, have you not seen her perform in Good Morning America with those cringe cartwheels? Like, homegirl just needs to slow it down. She tries to do like the most and butchers it. On the other side, I'm starting to wonder, like, why did Ingrid show up into this event drunk? Was homegirl having too much fun, or is she really going through it? Like, she needed to have a moment, drink, but yet still managed to embarrass herself on national television. I don't know what the whole deal is. I mean, yeah, she says she is going to check herself into rehab, but at the same time, after I looked her up on Google, it looks like this whole moment that she had helped her become relevant because, again, I don't know who she is. So people like US Weekly and the New York Post are saying that this whole moment helped her career and now her music streams increase. So I guess, I don't want to say it was a publicity stunt. I think homegirl was really going through it, but at the same time, why did you have to embarrass yourself? Again, I would say this is probably, yes, the second most embarrassing botch. Fergie will still dominate the number one spot because, again, she was sober. She knows she's not a good performer. If you think about it, there are a lot of artists out there that are not good performers. Why do I say this? Well, Fergie's number one. As much as I don't want to say this, but I am. Either way, the other performer that I know can't sing live is Down Straight. Why do I say this? So back then when Cody was still in AEW, he actually had Down Straight to perform his theme song, Kingdom, which is, again, his official song, even in WWE. And when they performed on AEW, it was bad. And I was like, I don't think you'll see Down Straight perform at WrestleMania. And a lot of fans can agree. They even put it on the comment section. If you look it up on YouTube, like the performance of Kingdom Live at AEW, some people are like, yeah, there's just those bands that are not really good live on stage. So I'm like, okay, so there's that. I mean, Fergie and Down Straight. But anywho, I've been talking so much about this. Let me go ahead and kick off with the movie news. As I mentioned, Deadpool and Wolverine is slowly approaching. Yes, I have my tickets. Yes, I will be watching it more than once. So I'm excited. I can't wait. So because of this movie slowly approaching us, we got more Deadpool and Wolverine clips thanks to the trailer. I'm so happy we got more Dogpool content. I mean, Cosmo's just like, yes, finally. I will admit though, she should be getting jealous because I'm falling in love with Dogpool so much. But for spoiler reasons, I'm not going to talk about it, but best believe I will watch it on Thursday, and we're definitely going to be talking about it next week. So I know a lot of people were upset that did watch the trailer. Me particularly, I'm just happy we're getting more clips so that way I'm preparing myself mentally whenever I do get to watch this movie. But there are 2 appearances. I will say that. If you haven't seen the trailer, I will probably recommend you guys not to watch them. Like the most recent trailers, or even they have been showing it on TV. So I'm just hoping that you guys don't get upset if you do watch the clips and then see those 2 surprising characters that will show up. But yeah, there were a lot of people saying, man, I wish you didn't put it on the trailer. It would have been a nice surprise. I don't know what the whole deal it was, or maybe they just did it to strategize more momentum, because that's what I got, you know. But I will not talk about those appearances again. If you guys are just like, no, we'll wait until next Sunday, watch the movie. There will be both spoiler free and spoiler version for sure on the talks when I do review this movie. But anywho, to keep the momentum going, Deadpool and Wolverine released their official soundtrack, which I don't know when this is gonna get released, but to make the more speedier process of you guys already listening to what's gonna be featured on the movie, you can actually listen to the Deadpool official playlist on Spotify. Unless if you guys don't have Spotify, I can let you know what tracks are gonna be in there. The only thing is that when I'm looking at the list, I'm like already assuming what might happen. Okay, so this is what's on the list. So get your pen and paper ready or start typing this out. If not, you can check out on some of the posts on social media where they have the list. So they're gonna feature a song called Only You and You Alone by The Platters. They're also gonna have Bye 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 by NSYNC. What's going on? Also Angel of the Morning, which we already know that song in the previous Deadpool songs. We're also gonna get Slash by Stray Kids, Glamorous by Fergie. We were just talking about this bitch, and now she's gonna be on the trailer. But anywho, we're also getting Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. I remember listening to that when I was a teenager, so I'm like, what is gonna happen? Like, I'm thinking like a sad moment. I don't know. Then we're also getting The Power of Love by Huey Lewis and the News. I'm a Rambling Man by Waylon Jennings. You Belong to Me by Patsy Cline and the Jordanaires. The Lady in Red by Krista Berg. And I'm only saying this because I already know when they might play this song. Just saying. They're also having Avril Lavigne in here with the song I'm With You. Now, this is where I'm like, what the fuck is gonna happen? They're gonna have The Greatest Show from the movie The Greatest Showman, and that's the one where Hugh Jackman is in. I'm scared either they're just gonna play it in the background, you know, Deadpool's, you know, mimicking Wolverine, who knows what. But I'm like, I am ready. Just seeing it is making me laugh. However, I would not be mad if Wolverine starts singing The Greatest Show. But then again, this is why my brain's already rambling, because I'm over here thinking about something else as I'm speaking it. What if, hear me out, because we are in the multiverse era and Marvel's gonna pull something and I'm already freaking out. What if they go to a whole different multiverse and they see like Hugh Jackman and Wolverine like looking at each other like, wait a second, you're you, but you're like a superhero? And Wolverine's like, wait, you're me, but you're a showman? I'm just saying. I'm freaking out already as I'm talking about it. But anywho, I need to calm down. I'm already losing it, but still. Anywho. So the next song that they have on the list is You're the One That I Want, which was featured in the movie Grease with John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John. I'm like, the hell? Like, we're going back to the 70s. The next one is I'll Be Seeing You by Jimmy Durante, I want to say. I never heard of this guy. See, that's how you know I'm a little bit ignorant with past music. And then there's Make Me Lose Control by Eric Carmen. The other one is You're All I Need to Get By, Aretha Franklin. And then lastly is Good Riddance, Time of Your Life by Green Day. I also did notice that there's a song that's not on the Spotify list, but it is on the official soundtrack, the song Let's Fucking Go, which is LFG, also known as the theme song for Deadpool and Wolverine. So yeah, if you guys want to, again, put a playlist on it, listen to it before you even get to watch the movies, go ahead and do so, unless if you want to wait after the movie and listen to the rest. Now, what you guys may not seen, if you guys do not have Spotify, and I have access to it, I'll let you guys know what's on this Deadpool official playlist. It's not only those songs that I just announced, we also have songs from the previous movies. It's funny though, because I noticed that Angel of the Morning is listed here twice. However, there's two different artists. There's the original one by Juice Newton, which I'm assuming, again, because the other one that's gonna be on Deadpool 3 or Deadpool and Wolverine, that one is by Marilee Rush and The Turnabout. So I got to listen to it because I'm like, what's the difference? The one that's gonna be on Deadpool and Wolverine is a little bit slower, maybe a little bit more intimate. So yeah, but if you guys want to compare to see which one sounds better, I still think the one by Juice Newton sounds a little bit better. So I think that's what we're used to. But yes, the most famous songs that we have heard in both Deadpool 1 and 2. X Gon' Give It To You by DMX, Careless Whisper by George Michael, Shoot by Salt and Pepper, Ashes with Celine Dion was also in there, and Take On Me by Aha. The other popular one, If I Can Turn Back Time by Cher. All those songs are on the list. So for those that don't have Spotify, just combine the soundtrack for Deadpool 1 and 2 and then what's coming up. So there's that. That's the easiest way you can do it. Now, still continuing to promote this damn movie, Adidas and Marvel Studio also collaborated to release the Deadpool and Wolverine shoe collection, merch collection. I don't even know why, because not only we're getting sneakers, we're also getting shirts. The sneakers, if you guys have not seen it, definitely go check it out. They're not my cup of tea, but they do have the matching suit colors with their character faces in the back. We're also getting the shirts, how I mentioned. It's basically like the comic book shirts with the Adidas logo on the corner. One of the last pictures that I got to see on Complex Sneakers social media was that there's also a Deadpool red and black soccer shoes. Again, not my cup of tea. But if you guys are interested in getting yourself a pair, the collection is set to release on August 1st. Now, that's enough of me talking about Deadpool, because again, we're going to be talking about it next week. So let's go ahead and move along. The next thing I wanted to talk to you guys is Beetlejuice. The official trailer is out. If you guys haven't done so, definitely go check it out. But when you watch the trailer, you already know who actually says Beetlejuice 3 times and lets him out. So I love the trailer, don't get me wrong. Again, I mentioned how I need to watch the first movie. Yes, I have not watched the first Beetlejuice movie. You're probably like, what the fuck? Yeah, when it comes to Halloween movies, I tend to watch actual horror movies. I'm sorry, but whenever I watch like the cover of Beetlejuice, I'm like, this doesn't look scary enough for me. And then they will run the movie like on ABC or so, trying to do 21 days of Halloween. I don't remember their program that they used to do. I'm sure they're doing it now, but who watches TV anymore? And so I was like, if it's on ABC, I'm not watching it. It's probably not that scary. Hell, they run Nightmare Before Christmas. It's not even scary for me. It was more like entertaining. And plus, I grew up watching it, so that's why I love it. But back to the trailer before I'm getting sidetracked. I love it. It was hilarious again. Not scary enough for me. I love the part where Michael Keaton's, Beetlejuice says, quote, "I never seen that chick in my life," or afterlife, and I'm like, what's going on? We do get to see that this movie is now updated, of course, now that we have technology and our smartphones. We get to see people's phones devouring us, so I'm like, that's interesting. After I watched the trailer, I was like, again, I need to watch this damn movie because I am interested in watching, the sequel for it. I did find out that the first Beetlejuice is actually available for you guys to watch on Prime Video. So go watch it before it leaves. Apparently it's going to leave in 11 days, so now's your time. I still need to watch it again. I'm probably going to watch it this week for sure. That way, when the movie comes out in September, I am up to date. Unfortunately, that's all I have for you guys on movies. Of course, Deadpool took most of the news on there. But if you think I'd ramble so much about Deadpool, the next part, since we're going to be talking about TV, I need to talk about The Boys. That's probably going to take up much time. So if you guys have not watched it, rest assured, I'm just going to give you guys my spoiler-free thoughts. But there is going to be like one little spoiler, but I think everybody should know by now, is that everybody is going to start listening to Heart Shaped Box by Nirvana. Like, forget about Something in a Way after the Batman. The Boys really said, you know what, we can top that. And boy, they did. In the beginning of the season finale, they did throw a disclaimer, which, if you think about it, it led a discussion about politics. And because we don't talk about that in this show, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about something else. But yeah, they throw that disclaimer for you guys, just so you don't get thrown off on what's gonna happen. I did gasp at so many scenes, and yet I cried at the end. I was like, this show finally hit home. But not like, oh my god, I can relate. No, like as in, oh my god, I feel for this character. Like that. So I would say do not stop watching after the credits start rolling. Like as soon as you see like directed by. No, just hold on for a second, because there is another clip after that. And it's a cliffhanger that made my jaw drop. So season 5 will be releasing until 2026, and we'll start filming in mid 2025 next year. It's like one of my biggest fears. I'm like, now I'm like literally craving for season 5 to hurry up. But trust me, all the episodes of season 4 were like meh. The finale was peak television, honestly. So it is definitely worth watching it and understanding what's gonna happen at the end. So if you guys have not checked it out, definitely do so. I really do want to talk about the spoilers, but again, I'm gonna bite my tongue and tell you guys, just go watch it while you can. If you guys haven't even seen the whole series, do so, because wow, you guys are really missing out. There's some stuff in there that I was like, what the fuck am I watching? But then again, there was parts of me where I was laughing and dying. So yeah, I highly recommend this series. And again, season 5 will be the last season for this series. And yeah, I know some people are upset, because they still want to see more of the show. But at the same time, we've talked about this in previous shows. If you prolong it long enough, it's just gonna lose its momentum. And right now, with the way how The Boys is, yeah, it's at its peak. Right now is the perfect time to go ahead and end it once and for all. There were talks though. I think I want to say it was like a showrunner for The Boys that joked around, and I'm over here like, don't joke like that, because he said that it would be funny but great if the series were to end with a cliffhanger. And I'm like, no, please don't. That's how you know you guys are playing with my damn emotions. I don't want to go through that. But then again, what show has done that? If you think about it, the only shows that end in a cliffhanger are the ones that get canceled. And speaking of canceled, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and move it along. So sad news for Halo fans. Paramount canceled the series after 2 seasons. So IGN stated, quote, though Paramount Plus isn't moving forward with the Halo TV series, Amblin, Xbox, and 343 Industries will still attempt to shop the series around, meaning it could still continue elsewhere. I don't know how that would feel, again, for the same reason that Paramount did contribute, but at the same time, will the writers continue to stay either faithful for Paramount or if they're gonna move along to somewhere else? Only time will tell. But anywho, let's go ahead and move it along with Fallout. So Fallout Season 2 is going to be in production faster than we expected. All thanks to 16 Emmy nominations. Let's fucking go. So if you guys haven't checked out the show, please do so. Because come on, you're missing out too. So one of the nominations went to Walton Goggins for lead actor in a drama series. For those that are unfamiliar with his work, he actually plays the Ghoul in the series. So the 60 nominations for Fallout goes as listed: Outstanding Fantasy Sci-Fi Costumes for the episode The End, Outstanding Stunt Coordination for Drama Programming, Outstanding Production Design for a Narrative Period or Fantasy Program 1 hour or more, Outstanding Picture Editing for a Drama Series, Outstanding Picture Editing for a Drama Series, Outstanding Main Title Design. And I'm like, really, guys? I mean, they got it off of the game, so anywho. Outstanding Period or Fantasy Sci-Fi Makeup Non-Prosthetic for The Head. If you guys do not know what I'm talking about, again, go watch the series on Prime Video. Anywho, the next one is Outstanding Prosthetic Makeup, and then again, the Outstanding Lead Actor. Outstanding Drama Series, yeah, that's gonna be interesting too. Outstanding Sound Editing for a comedy or drama series 1 hour, Outstanding Sound Mixing for a comedy or drama series, Outstanding Visual Effects in a season or a movie, Outstanding Stunt Performance, Outstanding Writing for a drama series, and lastly, Outstanding Music Supervision. Now, I mentioned that they were nominated for Outstanding Drama Series. Now, they're gonna be competing with so many other good shows, but I don't think they're gonna win only because of popularity. But I swear to God, if they win, I will cry. So the rest of the nominees for this category goes with 3 Body Problem, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Sci-Fi Shogun, Slow Horses, The Crown, The Gilded Age, and The Morning Show. So if Fallout wins, I will cry. But then again, Better Call Saul didn't win an Emmy, so I would not be surprised. Anywho, besides Fallout, I would say that this year, The Bear got the most nominations out of any series. They got a total of 23 nominations. One of them actually went to Bob Odenkirk, and we were just talking about him. He got nominated for Outstanding Guest Actor in a Comedy Series, but he's not the only actor that shows up in The Bear. John Bertal, I think I'm pronouncing his last name right, he's also nominated in that same category as Guest Actor. Sadly, John Cena was not nominated. I'm still waiting to see if he ever got nominated for an Emmy. You know, I don't know about an Oscar, but his time will be later, not now. See what I did there? Did I also tell you guys that I finished watching The Bear? It was absolute chef's kiss, of course. It was, again, how I mentioned before, lots of chaos. But it was worth it. I finished it, and now I can safely say I need season 4 already. The other shows that were also nominated for an Emmy was The Crown. They got 18 nominations. The Morning Show, how I mentioned earlier, 16 nominations. And Abbott Elementary got 9 nominations, which I haven't seen that. I've seen The Crown. I got bored probably like around season 3. The Morning Show, I did finish it. I'm still waiting for the next season to come out because I guess that one will also end with a cliffhanger, but not so much. Either way, now that I watched The Bear, I'm rooting for that show and Fallout to win, hopefully, all the Emmys. Anywho, the last thing I have for you guys on the televisions category is Stranger Things Season 5. So Netflix released a video on their socials giving us a glimpse of behind the scenes of what's going on for this next coming season. I'm definitely not going to talk about what's actually in there for, again, spoiler reasons. But what I can say is that the cast is slowly preparing themselves to wrap up the whole series completely. you can see that all the kids are grown up. You know, they're moving on, doing their own things. So it is going to be a moment of them reminiscing of the old times, you know, how they grew up, you know, recording the show and all of that. I'm excited again. I'm not too hyped for season 5 for the same reason that we've heard in the past. It's going to be split into 2 parts, which is totally unnecessary. I did remember hearing one of the actors say that the wait is worth it. So I'm like, I guess. But that's all I have for you guys in the televisions category. Now let's talk about one thing I have for you guys in music. So it's Slaughter to Prevail. So I went to my Facebook account, and before I even push forward with Slaughter to Prevail, I need to put a disclaimer. Yes, I do have a Facebook account, and no, I do not want you to look it up, find me, friend request me, whatever. You will get declined. I only have that Facebook account for like friends and families, even though I don't even post on there. Facebook is honestly like one of the most toxic place ever. I do have like family members who are also toxic, by the way, and I have them on there. So I don't even know why I bother with Facebook. I don't like check on it unless I'm at work. So that's the only reason too. I have it for work reasons. Do not try to find me on there, okay? So I'm letting you guys know right then and there. And I'm pretty sure y'all might not be able to find me because the way how I set up my Facebook account is so like restricted for privacy reasons. Unless if I know you or you know some of my friends, you might possibly find me. But still, if I don't know you like on a personal level, like you're gonna get declined. If I know you, even if like I interacted with you at some point, maybe. But that's why I say just follow me on Instagram, you know, TikTok, all of that. So there's that. But anywho, I went on my Facebook account, and this was again during work. And I could not help but to notice like the first thing I see on my homepage. So I was like, okay, we're gonna have to talk about it. Yes, I follow Slaughter to Prevail on Facebook. And I don't follow everybody else for the same reason. Again, not only it's toxic, but it's filled with so many scam accounts. So there's that, and I'm glad that I'm seeing this so that way I can let you guys know if you happen to have a Facebook account. So they posted on their Facebook page, quote, Alex doesn't use Facebook or Twitter and never sells anything in person. Those scammers have thousands of followers, but please don't trust them, unquote. And the reason why I'm telling you guys, I remember when I followed Slaughter to Prevail, they will post videos on there. And yeah, when I do manage to see them like during at work, I will engage on there. But I will go to the comment section because, I mean, come on, I always do. And I would see people commenting on the videos, and then there will be like a scam account by Alex Terrible. It could be either Alex Terrible, Alex the Terrible, or Alexander Shikolai, which is his actual name. And it would say like, oh, thank you, this and that. Send support by following me, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, this is why Facebook is, again, a toxic place, which is why I never freaking go on there. The thing for me is that how do you guys not have common sense to detect that this is a scam account? The only reason why I also say that is because whenever I went to Slaughter to Prevail's official page again, you will see with the blue check mark, they follow an Alex Terrible account. And that's who I thought was the legit one. However, he doesn't really post that much. So that's why I'm like, okay, well, they're saying that he doesn't use it. Maybe he does have it, he just doesn't use it. The last time that page, the one that I'm telling you guys about, the one that Slaughter to Prevail actually follows, the last time Alex posted was like back in April. We're in July, so there's that. I don't know, again, if you guys have Facebook, that's why you should just keep up with me. I got you covered on Alex Terrible material. For example, Alex posted on Instagram that he's already training to bare knuckle fight, you know, and he's already looking for people, like actual people like us, fans, who have the experience, you know, that kind of experience, and, you know, to participate on training Alex. So there's that. I know it sucks for those that only have Facebook, you know, that really want to follow the bands and all of that. But, I mean, that's Slaughter to Prevail. So I got you guys covered anyways if you guys are interested in listening to more Slaughter to Prevail news. But I wanted to talk about that. And speaking again about Alex Terrible, I actually got to see another video, and this was on my TikTok, by the way, because I always look at both Slaughter to Prevail's and Alex Terrible's Instagram stories, or whatever shows up on Instagram. I didn't see this video, so why is it appearing on my TikTok page? And the reason why I'm saying this is because Alex showed a sneak peek of Slaughter to Prevail's new song, Lielers. They actually performed this song back in Download Fest? I want to say it's Download Fest. I want to play it so bad, but I'm also terrified that I will get a copyright strike on YouTube. Why do I say this? So if you guys do not know, back when I was talking about Right Here, Right Now, I actually inserted the clip of Papa's, speech during If You Have Ghosts. If you listen to the podcast episode, it's on there because I didn't get a copyright strike. But if it's on YouTube, I did, and I had no choice but to cut it out, which, if you listen to it on YouTube, you don't hear Papa's speech. So I really do want to play, Lielers, but again, because of YouTube, I'm just going to say, no. But I found it, if you guys have a TikTok account, if you look up Alex Terrible Enthusiast, and it's spelled just how it is, on the bio it would say, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Alex the Terrible. There's 2 videos where you will see Alex wearing like a yellow shirt. I'm assuming both of those videos has Lielers. When you listen to the song, I don't know if this is the end of the song or if it's like the bridge, the break, whatever. You hear violins, and I'm like, this is fucking brutal, because you also hear the heavy metal in the back, and I love it. And then there's another line that Alex screams, don't be a fucking pussy, and I'm like, okay. So it does sound brutal. I'm already hyped for it, and all I gotta say is release the new album already. What the fuck is the delay? Like, I'm pretty sure it had to do with the record label. I mean, we already heard the drama during Kid of Darkness, which I don't even remember if we talked about it because I was in Mexico City. Well, I was getting ready to go to Mexico City when the song came out. And then by the time I came back, Kid of Darkness was available on Spotify and other listening platforms. So, yeah, if we didn't talk about it, there was some drama going on with the record label that they were supposed to wait. But the band was like, no, we got to release it now because we've been announcing that we were going to release it at this day. So what they did is they just posted Kid of Darkness on YouTube, and then it was available on other listening platforms later on Monday because it was supposed to release on Monday. But yeah, that's the drama, and that's Slaughter to Prevail, and that is all I have for you guys on the music category. So now we gotta talk about gaming. I wanted to leave it here on this section because it is gaming related, but it's also still Deadpool related. Haha, I fooled you. I'm still talking about Deadpool right now. So if you guys do not know, you probably have because it has been going viral everywhere. Xbox is giving away the cheeky controller. What? Yeah. So if you guys do not know what I'm talking about, so Xbox is releasing and giving away a custom Xbox One X, but everybody is focused on this cheeky controller. It's basically the Xbox controller, but in the back, there's ass. Like, wow. And yes, I jumped in the boat where everybody was saying, I got to have one, literally. I'm honestly loving the comments that people were saying on the post that Xbox released, where one person was like, no way we're getting a BBL controller before GTA 6. Another one was like, imagine the vibration on them thanks. And I'm like, God. Another comment by King Spider 117 said, the chat is going to be pissed when they can't figure out whose clapping is alerting the enemy team. And I'm like, oh God. And then lastly, TJ _ Heflinger said, freaky controller. And I'm like, oh God. I love it. I love this thing. The sad part is lots of Xbox fans are willing to pay lots of money for this. Honestly, I would too. Now, if you guys are interested in entering this sweepstakes or, giveaway, whatever, you do have to have an X account. Yeah, and I'm like, this is why I still have my X account. So Xbox posted, make his finest asset yours. And the only way to enter is to follow and repost hashtag Xbox Cheeky Controller Sweepstakes for a chance to win this custom Xbox Series X console and 2 cheeky controllers designed by Deadpool. Of course, you do have to be over the age of 18, and the sweepstakes ends on August 11th. And the thing is that if you guys do not know, I actually had to repost this thing because I forgot about the hashtag. But as of right now, this post has 11 million views, has a total of 169,000 reposts with, of course, a lot of comments, 138,000 likes with 20,000 bookmarks. So this sweepstakes is the most popular one from Xbox for the same reason that everybody wants those controllers. I did see a shit ton of videos on TikTok with the memes of those controllers. For example, one in particular, this guy was going, I guess, to Walmart if it was available to purchase. And he was like, one cheeky controller, and it's like, oh, would you like that Xbox, this and that? And he's like, no, just the controller. And then he gets the controller, and all of a sudden, all you hear is, and then everybody's like, oh my god, what's going on? Oh, disgusting. And then the guy just like stops and then leaves the controller, and that's it. And I'm like, ugh. And then people were like, well, now we know not to buy it used. And I'm like, sweet Jesus, I love it. And so I wish they did have this purchase. I mean, I wouldn't do it because of that, but I love how the design is. Of course, you guys know me. I'm a huge Deadpool fan. I would die to have this controller. Now that I look at the console, I'm like, I'm hoping the katanas are actually a part of the console because that will be even better. All I'm saying, Xbox, I still have my Xbox One X. I haven't traded up, so it'd be nice, just saying. And if you guys would know, if I were to win, you might know. You just know that. I might be showing it off on social media and all of that, but we will see. Now, let's go ahead and move it along. The last thing I have for you guys in the gaming category. Remember how I was talking about Call of Duty last week, collaborating with WWE? Well, we got the confirmation of which wrestlers are going to be in the game. We got Cody Rhodes and Rhea Ripley, which was no surprise. But we also got Rey Mysterio, which, what? That was a shocker. One person in the comments commented on the Call of Duty post that they have that said, quote, bro looked better than the actual WWE game. And I'm like, damn, shade. It's true though, like 2K, whatever the company is, they have shitty graphics. They could do better, but no. But yeah, those are the only 3 wrestlers apparently that are available for Call of Duty. So if you guys are playing it, definitely go check out the characters. I, again, not too big on Call of Duty, so even then, there's that. But since we're already progressing again with gaming going into wrestling, might as well start with wrestling once again. Starting with TNA. If you guys do not know, they actually held their Slammiversary event, and now we have a TNA World Champion. If you guys do not know, Nick Nemeth, formerly known as Dolph Ziggler, managed to defeat, it was a lot of wrestlers that were there. Moose, who was at the time the TNA World Champion. Joe Hendry was there, which you guys are like, wait a second, but wasn't he in NXT? I'm telling you, that WWE and TNA collab, there's that. Alongside with Joe Hendry, we also have Steve McLean, I think that's how his last name is, Frankie Kazarian, and Josh Alexander. So yeah, it was 6 people going up against each other for that championship. Honestly, we talked about Joe Hendry. We understand the hype. He is right now the wrestling sensation for NXT. So it makes sense why he didn't win. Nick Nemeth deserves it though. Homeboy is trying to redeem himself and show WWE did make that mistake for letting him go. I mean, what I'm trying to say is that he made the most iconic meme of them all, which a lot of people weren't throwing that GIF, meme, whatever on the comment section if he weren't to win. And it's the quote, it should have been me, like the one where he's like, oh, I wish it would have been me as champion, this and that. But we will see that meme a lot, especially when it comes to women posts. Like, for example, if there was a post of Rhea Ripley, holding the chin of Dominic Mysterio, you will see in the comment section everybody say it should have been me. Or, since I'm already talking about Rhea Ripley, there's a picture out there that, her husband now, Buddy Murphy, posted where he's laid on Rhea Ripley's butt. Yeah, her ass of all glory. And people were like, it should have been me. Another one was so hilarious where they were like, hey buddy, move aside, you're blocking the view or something like that. And I'm like, damn, these horn dogs. But yeah, I love the memes, but it does not define the talent. So congratulations to Nick Nemeth. So he literally redeemed himself. He's been doing a lot of independent wrestling promotions. I mean, hell, he was in New Japan Pro Wrestling and he was doing great over there too. So who knows if he'll eventually either be in AEW, or since they're doing that TNA and WWE collab, he'll be back in WWE in no time. So lots of good things are happening for him, thank God. Now, since I mentioned Rhea Ripley, might as well let's talk about that soap opera. She's back, right? So yeah, Monday Night Raw was very interesting. Who knows if there was a lot of people that tuned in to see if Dominic will indeed die at the hands of Rhea Ripley. So, I mean, I already called it, and a lot of people were also comparing it about the whole, Rhea Ripley, Dominic Mysterio are trying to revive the Eddie Guerrero and Chyna storyline. And yeah, Dominic showed up with a black rose, and I'm like, oh, so romantic. Ugh. I swear, if I ever find a man that, gives me black roses, that's it. I'm dying with that person. I don't care. Anywho. But yeah, he comes out with a black rose trying to tell mommy, hey, I'm sorry. It's not what it looks like. This, and that. And Rhea was just not having it. At this point, she was like, you know what, Dom? You're not even a priority right now. Because at the same time, her priority is the World Women's Championship. Which right now happens to be at the hands of Liv Morgan. And so it is confirmed. It is going to be Rhea versus Liv for the World Women's Championship at SummerSlam. Now, when they did the promo, I could not help but to notice Dominic Mysterio was in the middle. And I'm like, what is this? Are you guys trying to do the custody again? But at the same time, the theory is out there. I already talked about it last week. I'm going to mention it again in case if you guys didn't keep up. I will be pissed if Dominic betrays Rhea. Why do I say this? Was because the way how this soap opera was laid out for us on Monday, Dominic's still saying like, I'm sorry to Rhea, and she was still not forgiving him, only to eventually just say, you know what, because there was at one point where Dominic was like, hey, nobody talks to mommy like that, and I want to prove to everybody that, you're mine. And the way how Rhea was like, excuse me, like, I'm no one's. Like, she literally told Dominic, like, I'm no one's, you're mine. And then, she hands out the rose that Dominic was trying to gift her. And I was like, so what, did you forgive him? But either way, the way how she said it, right? It was like, oh, you're in my control. And maybe eventually Liv is still gonna twist it up and say, no, Dom. It's like, I'm yours. You get to be with me because I'm yours. It's not you're mine, this, and that. And maybe Dominic is gonna be like, you know what? Maybe I prefer Liv over, Rhea. Who knows, though? If it is the same way, again, Eddie Guerrero and Chyna story, Eddie will never betray Chyna. Just saying. So I'm praying and hoping they stick it like that. But again, we do have that feeling. And at the same time, we don't want Liv Morgan to be champion because I do not understand the hype. Again, it's funny because whenever Rhea did her promo, this past Monday, when Rhea was telling the camera at the time, talking straight to Liv, saying not only I'm gonna end your reign, this and that, she was like, I'm also gonna end your career. As soon as she said that, the whole crowd started cheering. That's how much power Rhea has over the WWE universe. But when Liv Morgan starts talking, there's nothing. That's why I'm like, it's only on social media. So what the fuck, people? I'm just saying. Also, I want to throw this out because when Rhea did tell Dom, I forgot to mention that when she says she belongs to no one, I was like, ma'am, we know damn well who you go home to. You're married now. But I love that. Also, not only that, we also have some side-tracking storylines that's going up for Dominic, because Jey Uso, for example, there were a lot of memes going around, before this whole thing that was going on with Liv and all of that. Jey Uso was trying to holler at Rhea Ripley. Now that, this whole shebang is happening, there's this clip, and I can't help it. I think this one's my favorite by far. Again, they keep topping it. Like, just when I thought last week's episode was my favorite, nah. But anywho, the part was when Jey Uso went to Damian Priest and was like, "Hey, is it true? Mommy is single and ready to mingle." It's like, cause I'm trying to holla. I'm like, oh god. And Dominic was just over there, just standing there, like, really, dude, like. And so because of that, Davian was like in the middle, like, should I say yes? Should I say no? So he's like, maybe. And Jay was like, Wepa, like, really, dude? We were talking about Wepa, by the way, last week. But he was like, Wepa, and fucking Damian Priest was like, Yeet. And I'm like, when Wepa and Yeet are shaking hands, like, god damn it, like, and then fucking Dominic, like, no, like, keep the Wepa to yourself. I'm like, fucking dead. And so, like, they had their match. Unfortunately, Dominic did lose to Jey Uso because Liv interfered. And then, you know, Rhea came out trying to, you know, beat her up and everything. And then Liv, being the coward that she is, she ran away. And then that caused Dominic the match. Rhea was walking away, and Jey Uso was like looking at her like, call me, you know. And after the whole episode wrapped up, there was like an after show interview. I forgot what the question was, but basically Jey Uso was talking about how he wants to take Rhea Ripley to Waffle House, like on a Waffle House date. And he thinks that she has never been there, and, you know, she's missing out. And then they were talking about like, what could Rhea possibly order? And then because of the comment that he made, I've seen a lot of fans like making art pieces of this, of, you know, Jay and Rhea at Waffle House. And now that I think about it, it's like, I guess you would say you have not lived if you spent a date at Waffle House. Believe it or not, I don't think I ever mentioned this, but I actually went on a Valentine's date at Waffle House. And I was like, at the time, I was all, oh my god, you know, we're gonna go to Waffle House, so fucking ghetto. And now that I think about it, I was like, what the fuck was I on? I was probably on drugs or something, because what the fuck? And I'm not saying like I was on legit drugs. My brain back then was not functioning, and now that I think about it, like, really, Lielers? Waffle House on Valentine's Day? Yeah, so there's that. It's one thing going on a date at Waffle House. It's another thing going on Valentine's Day at Waffle House. So those are my 2 cents on that. I still love that this whole storyline is based on, what, 3 people that are married? Yeah, Dominic Mysterio is married. Rhea Ripley's married. Jey Uso's married. It's like, wow. All these people are, like, being tested. But again, at the same time, like, now that everybody is under Papa H rules, I'm hoping that, you know, they were like, okay, are you comfortable with doing the storyline, you know? And they had to talk to their, you know, husband, wives, whatever, and then they would agree on it. I don't know how Dominic's dealing with this, because with Rhea was one thing, but with Liv is a whole different thing. So I don't know. But anywho, that's enough about Monday Night Raw. We need to talk about this past Friday's SmackDown episode. I'm pissed at whoever wrote it. Why? Because the main event was, you know, Cody Rhodes going up against Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. And apparently Cody was in need of a partner. And the whole time they were promoting it, you know, who will be Cody Rhodes' mystery partner? Once you hear mystery partner, you're like assuming like somebody from either NXT, maybe Joe Hendry, you know, would show up. And I was thinking about it, and I think everybody on the comment section for WWE's post was like thinking Joe Hendry too. So we were thinking, okay, this is probably gonna be good, intense, whatever. No, nothing like that. Why? Because the mystery partner ended up being Kevin Owens. I don't hate Kevin Owens. I just don't like the way how they were promoting it. I was like all hyped up and everything, but that happened. So I'm like, I guess. But yeah, WWE was really playing with my emotions this past Friday. Now, the last thing I wanted to talk to you guys before we wrap up this week's episode is my prediction so far, what we have for SummerSlam. So SummerSlam is going to be on August 3rd. So it's not this Saturday, but the following Saturday. And so far we have, what, 5 confirmed matches. I do have some theories on what could be the last 3 matches maybe. SummerSlam is like mini WrestleMania, so it should be damn interesting. Of course, we already know that Damian Priest is going to go up against Gunther for the Men's World Champion. But if you guys missed out this past Monday's episode on Raw, they gave out this promo, and I think everybody was talking about it too. Because basically, these promos where they're just talking is just to keep the hype, the momentum going for the PLE that's coming up. And so we get to see, okay, how much acting, I guess, or how much character these wrestlers have. We got to see Damian. So far from what we're learning is that Damian Priest is now babyface. Of course, the Judgment Day are heels, but the way how Damian is portraying himself, he's a really cool guy. Like, I guess, in and out of the ring. Gunther is definitely heel. He's always been heel. He is unstoppable, which is why I respect this man. So they were giving out their promotions, and the way how Gunther was showing was like, hey, yeah, you did a good job, but you have no class. You don't have all of this, you know, I guess, elegance in a way that they're doing with Ludwig, you know. And the way how he says is that, like, Damian does not deserve to be a champion because of the way how he is, I guess. And Damian Priest was showing his side, but the way how he showed it, we got to see Damian Priest, like, the way how he struggled, the way how we've seen him before. There's pictures roaming around the internet of how he looked before he was signed to WWE. Of course, he was a little bit like the pictures that I'm talking about. If you guys do not know what I'm referring to, Damian was a little bit more overweight, and you know, he had heavy makeup, and it looked like it was like a cry for help. Now look at him, like, he is the top guy right now at WWE, and of course he's grateful. Like, I remember for WrestleMania when he won the world champion, you know, he was taking pictures not only with the Judgment Day, but his family was also there. I think his dad and his brother, if I'm not mistaken. And so it was a good moment for him, and we got to see that in that promo. The way how he gave it, it was so good. It didn't, like, for example, for me personally, like, it didn't bore me. I was actually, like, listening to what he was saying, and that's why I'm like, oh my god, like, homeboy is speaking from the heart. Like, that's how I saw it. And so it was really hard to pick a side and say, oh, okay, well, Gunther, for example, I'm thinking like, oh yeah, no, he's been unstoppable. It's his moment. There's no way that Damian is gonna retain. But I want Damian to retain because I'm like, at the same time, I do want the Terror Twins, you know, Rhea and Damian, to still be like champions dominating Raw. But that promo, man, I'm like, damn, don't give this man a short reign. That's all I gotta say. I am rooting for Damian Priest, but I won't be surprised if Gunther wins. Oh, that hurt, you know? So that's how you understand my predictions. It's not really like, okay, who am I rooting for? So, like, me personally, I want Damian to win. But I'm assuming, based on, you know, statistics, based on how Gunther is, his reputation, I feel like it's his time too. So I'm like, ugh, it guts me. So, yeah, there's that. The next match, of course, that was also confirmed is Bayley versus Nia Jax. I will admit, there's no momentum there. I don't understand that. Like, the way how Damian and Gunther is, that's one thing. But if you compare it to Bayley and Nia, it's not there. I don't know why. Take notes, women, please. Like, we were all happy. Again, I'm not saying like, you know, oh, like the women have their moment, this and that, or they suck, whatever. No, like, honestly, they need to step it up. You guys, like, were doing so well. What the fuck happened? In terms of who I think is gonna win, I think Nia is gonna win. Honestly, a second, maybe longer reign wouldn't be so bad. The last time we saw her champion was when Alexa Bliss was champion. And so, yeah, that's who I think is gonna win. I don't know with the whole thing with Bayley. Will she retain? Sure, again, I wouldn't be surprised. But they really need to kick that storyline back up. Like, bring it to Damian and Gunther level, please and thank you. Now, Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. We talked about this. I already told you what might happen. I will be pissed if Liv wins, but at the same time, I am rooting for Rhea Ripley. Please, for the love of God, Dominic, if you are really indeed Eddie's kid, whatever, you wouldn't betray mommy. But then again, Eddie did say he lies, he cheats, and steals. Let me find out. But anywho, those were my thoughts on that one. The other match is Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa. I think Cody will retain. That's my 2 cents on that. However, we've been talking about it, especially last week, that there is possibility that Roman Reigns will return. I remember, last week, right as soon as I wrapped up the episode, I did see a post from PW Insider that they were confirming he will return. So when Roman returns, that will be, okay, we're going to have to push Cody aside. Now we got to focus on the bloodline. So I don't think Solo being champion is going to help the storyline. So there's that. But I cannot wait when it does happen. The last confirmed match that we have is LA Knight versus Logan Paul. This one just came out of nowhere. It was mostly LA Knight coming out saying, hey, I have a contract. Logan has to sign it. I'm going to go up against him for the United States champion. They're finally giving LA Knight that opportunity. And yes, I am rooting for him to win that US champion. Homeboy deserves a champion a long ass time ago. I also hate the fact that Logan decided to take the same joke that LA Knight gave him back then and then reuse it for himself. And I'm like, boy. Another thing I also want to point out, I don't know if you noticed, I was like looking at it, listening to it, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened to Logan Paul? Homeboy went hood when he was going up against LA Knight, like talking wise, because they were doing a contract signing. And I'm like, my boy, what just happened? Like, you switched up all of a sudden. I'm not feeling it. But yeah, sure, that's you. I don't know what happened, but yeah, he just started talking like all ghetto and whatnot, and I'm like, is that how he normally talks when he's pissed? I don't know. But anywho, the other matches that are not confirmed, but I believe might potentially happen, one in particular is Chad Gable versus Uncle Howdy, based on the whole mind games that he's doing. And then this past Monday, Chad Gable decided to do a beating on Taylor Redonda, which, by the way, he was calling him Bo Dallas. He's like, oh my god, I finally found out. In case if you didn't know, Uncle Howdy is Bo Dallas. And then he started calling him out like, come out here, Bo. And me, I'm like, we're keeping the Bo Dallas name. Yes, I believe. But then again, we also believe in Joe Hendry. So, but yeah, that's a potential match. Maybe possibly bringing in the Creed brothers too, since they were interfering on that whole thing. And then potentially too, bringing in maybe the Rabbit, maybe the Buzzard, maybe Hogs. I don't know what they're gonna do. I know for sure that Sister Abigail is gonna be on ringside, but we'll see how that's gonna happen. Another unconfirmed match, but it looks like it's being teased, will be Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker and potentially Ilja Dragunov. Why? Because Sami and Ilja were going up against each other for that championship, and then Braun Breaker decided to say, you know what? No. It's going to be for me, and interrupted the match, and it just ended in chaos. So that's a possibility. The last one that I'm excited for, and I'm hoping it happens, is Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk. But there are still speculations that CM Punk is not medically cleared. So what could this possibly mean? Again, on Monday, Drew McIntyre decided to disrespect Adam Pearce, and then all of a sudden, Seth Rollins comes out. And this might potentially happen too. Drew McIntyre versus Seth all over again. I'm like, what? We're getting WrestleMania 2.0 on SummerSlam. So who knows? We'll see. But we really want Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk. But yeah. Oh my god, I didn't realize how long I've been doing this episode. So let's go ahead and wrap up this week's episode. As always, make sure to follow my social media accounts at It's Lielers on Instagram, Threads, and X. And subscribe to my YouTube channel at It's Lielers. And also do not forget to follow me on TikTok at Lielers. Lielers on TikTok. So guys, you already know the drill. Next week, we're going to be talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. I am so freaking excited. Like, can you tell? So yeah, I'm going to go watch it Thursday, and I'm going to rewatch it again on Sunday. And yeah, I'm going to refresh my memory, and we're going to be talking about both the spoiler-free and the spoiler version. So the spoiler version usually consists of things that happen in the actual movie. Spoiler free version, obviously we're going to talk about Rotten Tomato score, what's the rating, what are people talking about, the acting, the effects, the storyline, all of that shebang. So what might happen is we're going to talk about what's been happening on pop culture first, and then lead our way to the movie review. So that's how we used to do it back then, whenever I did both movie reviews and what you missed. So hey, this is your first movie review that's gonna be coming up listening to me. Welcome. But yeah, that's basically what's gonna happen. And then the following week, we already know we're gonna be talking about SummerSlam. So yeah, it's a great time to be listening to me. Yeah, I kind of cringed a little bit once I said that. But anywho, I hope you guys did enjoy this week's episode. And as always, I will talk to you guys on the next one.